Where in the world in the 21st century is a country that is divided from top to bottom by an 8-meter high separation wall? And where in the world is a country that is dotted with 500 manned checkpoints at any given time of the day to curtail the movements and restrict the life of the inhabitants? Where in the world are there highways which are designated for the use of one segment of the nation, not the other? Where in the world are there streets in towns and cities which are designated for the use of one ethnicity and the other? The answer is Israeli-occupied Palestine. The wall is 708 kilometers long. The construction of that wall started in June of 2002. The reason why they built it? Of course, security. Nothing of the sort. It was built to confine the Palestinians, to put them in cantons, easily managed and easily run, to help destroy any chance of a Palestinian free state, and to disrupt the social and the political gatherings of Palestinians. Just one example of how this wall makes the life of Palestinians virtually impossible. Imagine that you're a young person living on one side of the wall and you fall in love with another person living on the other side of the wall. And you decided to get married. You get married. You can. But cohabit, you're not allowed. The Israeli government does not allow Palestinians from either side of this separation wall to cohabit or communicate. President Jimmy Carter, in his book, Peace, Not Apartheid, referred to this wall, and he said, it's not a fence, as the Israeli call it. It's a wall, a separation wall. It's an apartheid wall. In July of 2004, the International Criminal Court of Justice ruled that the wall is contrary to international law and that Israel should stop and dismantle it. But when does Israel ever adhere to international law or norms? Let's now talk about checkpoints. The checkpoints are dotted all over the occupied West Bank and the Gaza Strip. According to Beit Slim, which is an Israeli NGO, there were 100 fixed checkpoints. That means they're there and manned by soldiers all the time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And there are the flying points, which they erect at will when they want at any location. And that makes the life of Palestinians very difficult to live. At any given moment, there are at least 500 flying checkpoints. Just imagine, if you are a Palestinian lady and you are pregnant and you are at a checkpoint trying to go to a city or a town where there's a hospital that you need to be treated at. These soldiers can, and normally do, keep you for up to 10 hours in the searing hot sun of the summer and the freezing cold of the winter. How do you feel? What happens to you? Some Palestinian pregnant women, because of these conditions they had to endure, they gave birth at the checkpoint. Some of these births were stillborn. Imagine if you are an elderly person, you are ill or infirmed, and trying to go to a hospital or to whatever meeting you may have on the other side of the checkpoint. And again, you are compelled to wait for up to 10 hours. Some of these elderly people had died. Imagine you are a school child, want to go to school, which is the other side of the checkpoint or the wall. What time in the morning do you have to wake up? How long do you have to walk? And most importantly, how long do you have to wait? And are you going to make it to school to get any education? Of course, the answer is always in the hands of the occupier. Imagine you are a housewife and you want to go and do your daily shopping or your weekly shopping, and you have to cross eventually one of these checkpoints. Are you going to be able to? And when you come back with your goods, are they going to allow you through with these goods, or are they going to spoil it for you? Most of the time is the latter. These checkpoints and the wall are designed to make the life of Palestinians impossible. Let's now talk about the highways that are built on stolen Palestinian lands for the use of Jews only. i.e., if you are a Palestinian living in the West Bank and you want to go from A to B, you cannot use these highways which are built on your own land. Let's talk about the segregated towns and cities. If you are a Palestinian and you live in a city like Hebron, for example, which is surrounded by illegal settlers and settlements, there are roads in Hebron, the city, which are for the exclusive use of the Jews, not you, the indigenous Palestinian of Hebron. This is the lot of us Palestinians under the occupation, and it has been so since 2002. Is it going to end? Are the Palestinians ever to have a decent, normal life? That, my friends, depend on you. You, if you believe me, please talk to your member of parliament, to your representative, and make the point that the Palestinians deserve a dignified, decent way of life. And before I close, I'd like you to look at this short clip. It's just 1 minute. It's about a short film. The whole film is about 24 minutes, directed by a Palestinian director called Farah Nabulsi. The film is called The Present, i.e. The Gift. I don't want to spoil it to you. Please see the trailer and I'll talk to you afterwards.
ليش انت هون؟
I need toilet paper, lemons. What we have here?
Security chief, move now!
أحلى بنت في فلسطين.
ماما رجوتي. ماما يلا ماما.
What do you want? Hey! We have a system here.
My house is just there.
طيب بابا طيب ولا شيء مش مشكلة بنحل يلا نمشي.
Thank you very much. I hope that now you will go and find the short film. It was aired originally on Netflix, and please go and see it and make up your own mind. And if it touches you, please do as I asked. Speak to your member of parliament, speak to your representative, talk to the papers, to the radio, to the TV station. Our story must be heard. Thank you for listening. Bless you.